The Honorable the President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Clearly, as I said in my main answer to the first question, once again, I said we need to look at the history. It will get through eventually. I think it's important that we should also look at the history. The Honorable Member Mente is getting us to that point where she says we need to look at what history has taught us. Some of us may forget that in 1962, the world was almost plunged into a nuclear war, when at the time the Soviet Union had sought to put missiles in Cuba. And the United States was very clear that that was something they would never allow. Because to allow a power like Russia or the Soviet Union to put its missiles in Cuba would have been an existential threat to them. And the world was brought this close to a nuclear war. I didn't quite understand at the time. I was 10 years old, but the history that I've read tells me that it could have been catastrophic. And we have seen how over time, countries have been invaded, wars have been launched over time, over the many years. And that, as Honorable Mente seeks to address, has left devastation. And some leaders of certain countries have also been killed. Like on our own continent, Muammar Gaddafi was killed. And that has happened over and over and over again. Now, we are saying this should be avoided, and this should be avoided by heeding the warnings. I was reading the other day that even as recently as a few years ago, Condoleezza Rice, who was like the National Security Advisor to the President of the United States, actually warned that a further expansion of NATO towards the east would just cause a great deal of instability and havoc. And leading international specialists like Henry Kissinger and many others have warned about this happening over many years. Now, this has now happened to the Ukraine. And we are saying we need to look at everything in context. We need to look at the history, but we also need to be saying we want everyone to remember what the history teaches us as we engage in dialogue and negotiations so that we can avoid this. Now, obviously, Russia has felt that this is an existential threat to them. National existential threat to them. Now, obviously, no one desires war, as I have said, and we want peace, negotiation, dialogue. I firmly believe that that is the only weapon, that an instrument that should be used to resolve conflicts. War doesn't. Sanctions don't. Various actions that can be embarked upon other than dialogue and negotiation don't. And it is for this reason that our stand is very clear as South Africa, that negotiation, dialogue, and mediation is what we are calling for. And this message, I believe, is sinking in the ears of a number of other people. Thank you very much.